how can enterprises implement digital transformation with the least disruption to ongoing operations, Mr. Navalkar?
As I mentioned earlier, this particular resistance to change in people have to be managed very carefully. Therefore, digital transformation, which primarily to me, beyond technology, beyond implementation, digitalization, it is managing the change in the people, within the people, to be handled carefully. So that is what is very critical. And that will ensure that the smooth integration with the existing ethos of the enterprise is retained. So we have to get people ready and reskilled if necessary to accept the new technology and the new transformation that we are envisaging.
Okay, so it's certainly not a case of one shoe size fits all. It needs a flexible framework which is adaptable to the specific requirements of the enterprise in question.
Absolutely, you're dead right on that. There is no one shoe fits all solution. Therefore, we have identified Estimology, a digital business transformation framework, which is a dynamic and flexible software that adapts to the enterprise's digital transformation requirements and makes this journey painless.
Okay, so how does Estimology cater to the demands of the various stakeholders across an organization? For example, sales, HR, delivery, etc. And do they all get secure real-time access to the same data set? And is the data managed and consistent throughout the life cycle of a project?
Absolutely. Actually, that is one of the key features of Estimology that we found during our utilization in these projects. Now, first of all, what happens is, that every organization, just like a human being, has got certain health parameters. In a human being, there are 5 or 6 or 7, whatever parameters which are clearly identified, which are generically applicable. The parameters, threshold limits could vary, but generally these are 5 or 6 parameters identified. Unlike a human being, however, enterprises health monitoring parameters are multiple. They vary from type of industry, type of segment, to the type of the way they are operated. So identifying and creating dashboards, which are not generally, generic ones like you fit this in and get a dashboard. No, it has to be tailored. So what Estimology helps is creating suitably modified or customized dashboards, which capture the health monitoring parameters of an enterprise. Once these parameters are visible, improving profitability then becomes much easier, and it also gives the executive management early warning of impending calamities, because there is no point in telling me that that went wrong. I would like to know that this is likely to go wrong in the next 2 months if I do not take action ABC. That's exactly what Estimology provides. Secondly, important aspect in most of the software that I've seen across the various platforms is that project management and resource planning and deployment is very project specific, project centric. What Estimology provides is an enterprise wide. We have heard of the word ERP, enterprise resource planning, but there is a big question mark whether it is really enterprise wide. So what Estimology provides is a planning and deployment across the enterprise. How does it help? It helps because the key and expensive resources are never required in a project on a continuing basis. They are required in short bursts. And that is where, if I can cross-utilize these key resources across various projects in a company, I'm able to bring down my expenses very effectively. Just to go back and digress a little, it is like if most of us who are familiar with cricket appreciate that only batsmen and only bowlers are not enough. You need key all-rounders in the middle who could be, effectively utilized either as bowlers or as batsmen or something which fits in the gap in between. And that's exactly what we need in an enterprise. And Estimology, I'm glad to say, really provides the all-rounders for an enterprise.
And does Estimology analyze the captured data to allow refinements to the operating parameters?
Yes, that's another key strength of Estimology. Actually, the data is just captured is real time, so that the enterprise, is able to, get the productivity refined over a period of time. Again, if I draw an analogy with the mathematics, when you have these numerical methods, you start with a reasonably accurate guesstimate, and then you iterate it over a period of, iterations to arrive at the real final solution. The point is that the closer you are to the guesstimate is closer to the reality, you'll arrive at iterate it much quicker. Similarly, estimology captures the data and refines the productivity so that you are in a position to know your company, your resources much better. And so also the contribution of various activities, because as we have discussed in the earlier slides, the breakup of a project in terms of activities is very critical. Now, the contribution of each activity, again, we estimate that, okay, that system study takes so much and my client visits take so much and so on. But in reality, what is it happening? What is happening is again captured and refined so that when we make an estimate of time as well as budget, we are not way off. We are not 30, 40, 50% overrun most of the time.